A very special thank you to everybody who tunes in to the Justin Podcast. And I also want to give a special thanks to all my sponsors.
He's a pioneer and the voice for XTV East Coast. He's the XTV Hall of Famer. And now, Justin Turkey Legs brings his famous voice to the podcast world. This is Justin's Podcast.
Welcome, once again, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another edition of Justin's Podcast. I am Ernest Justin Turkey Leg, as you know, coming to you on July the 4th, the day after ABW's birthday. And as you know, if it's ABW birthday, it's all our birthday. So everybody went up 1 year. Actually, you know, this is the time of year where the ages basically get shifted. People don't necessarily age. Some people actually get younger, if you can believe that. Might as well get it straight into what's on my mind this week. Got quite a bit to cover. I want to go ahead and jump into it and say that I was wrong. I spoke with Duke Nukem, and you know, we was talking on my podcast about different events that have transpired, and I've got this flurry of emails saying, Justin, yo dumb ass, and you this, you that, oh, give up, you don't need to be a podcaster no more. You saying all the wrong stuff. They commenting on when I was talking about Duke and, you know, Romy and myself and SIDE, you know, and all of that being like, you know, the top shows at one time period. And they was going in on my ass because I said that Yaki was around that time period too, and he wasn't. You know, I got my years all confused. I be getting all kinds of emails from people telling me shit that I said wrong on here. Look, motherfucker, can you do any better? Is that how you treat a friend? Alright. So, yeah, I said it. And I'm man enough to admit when I was wrong. And there you have it. My boy. My boy, my boy. Justin, my boy, you're such a handsome man. Thank you. You know, speaking of Jim Barnett, I told y'all about that dream that I had, and he kept on, you know, coming into my dream talking about my boy. Well, I had a similar experience the other night. That's right, about 3 nights ago. And it's all thanks to this retarded ass freshman list for the hip hoppers. The 2016 freshman list. That's right, that damn what's his name? Designer. Got that shit stuck in my head, man. I couldn't go to bed one night talking about Timmy Turner. Stop! It was all like acoustic and shit too. Just kept on bouncing off the walls. Timmy Turner. Stop! Shit. Shit was spooky. I listened to a shoot from Big Trunks D-Matic. And you know, I hadn't started part ways on this. You'll hear me talk more about it in the weeks to come. But I was particularly interested in when he was talking about 2010 and the Busch Gardens time period. And he talked about a particular day where he decided to just go take a stroll out on, you know, the beautiful park. And, you know, see what he missing out on every day. I mean, ain't no point in just staying back at John Gala, you know, at the Bengal Bistro your whole time there at Busch Gardens. You know, you want to enjoy the experience. And so he did so. He went on out and walked around the park. And before he could get too far, you know, depending on which way he went, he probably either was in Stanleyville, which is where I think he probably went. He probably went to Stanleyville. And, you know, he just said that he, you know, got stopped by this lady, and she was just like, oh, where you going? You know, what part of the park you work at? And he was like, oh, I work at the Bengal Bistro, which is back in the John Gala area, not too far from the Congo area, which, mind you, is all the way at the back of the park, ladies and gentlemen. My boy. So, yeah. And he said that she just said, she said, she just said it in a racist kind of tone, and I feel my boy. I know where he coming from. It's wrong, and it even compelled me to go online and take a look at this map. I pulled up the Busch Gardens map, and that's why I had mentioned Stanleyville earlier, because it's some steps from the John Gala area, but he probably wasn't even that way, because it's a specific way that you get to the John Gala area. You don't go through the like front entrance and have to walk all the way to the back. They don't make it that obvious of the racism going on. And I think that I'm looking at an older map, because they got the Montu on there. I'm not so sure they still got Montu. One of these rides they had done took down. But the point that I'm getting at is, it's just that the way you take a look, and you can pull up this map, you just go to Google and pull up this Busch Gardens map, and when you look at it, you see just how things is like put in certain categories, or certain places on the map. And like I said, the Jungala area and the Congo area, where, mind you, most black people work. I worked there myself. I was there back in 2003, and that's the area where all the black people at. And you go to other parts of the park, and it's just it's segregated. And I equate that to my time period at Irwin back in 2010. It's funny that that he was going through this in 2010 and I was over there at Irwin, but it's segregation over there too. It's like upstairs, they got the doctors, and you might say, yeah, okay, they have to, but when you think about it, it's kind of racist. They got the doctors, and they got like the upperclassmen, like they upstairs, you know what I mean? And they mostly white people, and that's a lot of their ass, and and it's like the higher classes, the hierarchy, they up top, and then downstairs, off in the cut, all on one side, they have the culinary arts, the barber people, and the hairstylists, and it's another ghetto ass class. They got like a carpenter class, which it's like in the middle, but that's some racist ass shit too. Yeah, I keep on saying racist. I can't speak today. It's morning time. It's early on July the 4th. Happy July 4th, everybody. It's a beautiful, beautiful time. And another thing that's on my mind, I had interviewed 90 just recently, and it made me think about. Oh no, it wasn't when I interviewed 90. I keep on saying that. It's when LT was talking to Jazzma. And on Jazzma's podcast, he had mentioned this story from XTV where Lucky get punched out, and Owana is in the picture, and she's like, "Lucky, you need to be minding your mother." And they got this huge pop. So I'm not so sure if everybody know about that story. So I decided, I was going to take a moment to go ahead and read an excerpt from that story. And, if you guys like this, maybe I'll read, maybe I'll make this a thing. And, who knows where this will go. So it says right here, now about 16 miles west of Denona was the inner city area called Royal Palm, which was what LT was talking about. He was mentioning how, back in 2007, which is where this story is probably from, either 07 or 08, this particular one, we was just breaking down like the different characters and the different areas, where these different characters live. And when we did that, I just want to say before I get into this, when we did that, we realized that, we didn't have as many characters as we thought. Because, you might have like one or two guys that live in, per se, Royal Palm area, which is what we're discussing here. And it's like, that's it. It's like, it's really, really spread out. So, that's pretty interesting. You got this whole city of people in the Royal Palm district, but out of all of that huge city, only one person is an XTV guy. So, which is a story all in itself. What is life like in Royal Palm for that particular superstar? So, anyways, now about 16 miles west of Denona was the inner city area called Royal Palm. This part of the state was full of loud rap music and loud talking urban people, if you will. A lot of crime and violence of all sorts went on in this city. Outside the door in the hallway of his apartment building was Roosevelt L. Amen, or Lucky, whose voice carried through the halls as he harmonized church hymns he had wrote. He was a 12-year-old chubby kid who spoke with a speech impediment. Every last word he'd say would end in F. So this is like coming from the perspective of just like, if you don't know nothing about XTV, just breaking down everything, and giving you everybody's backstory, sort of. Even grunts and noises he'd utter from time to time had the F sound in it. Oh, Father, why I gotta live this way? Oh, Father, my mama used to love me. Suddenly, from inside the apartment, he can hear his mother calling him. Roosevelt, she yelled. Ma'am, get your ass in this house, motherfucker. She was known to her neighbors as Sister Loretta. Her aura demanded respect. You could feel her footsteps when she walked, and her face always had an angry look to it. Yes, ma'am. Whoomph. That's my punch sound. Lucky heard the wind from the haymaker before he was knocked to the floor. He could feel that. He could feel the wind from her punch before he was even hit. He knew it was coming, but there was nothing he can do about it. I told your fat ass to mop this floor. She dove on him with an elbow drop, knocking the wind out of her. It better be squeaky clean when I get back here, bitch. Yes, ma'am. He struggled to speak. Slowly, Lucky got up to his feet, staggered and dazed. Hey, Owana, Sister Loretta spoke. Is everything okay in there, no? Owana asked in her Haitian accent. So racist. Honey. I had to whoop Lucky grown ass. You done been minding your mother, Lucky, no? Owana asked. Yes, ma'am. Lying fucker, Miss Amen said. As she slammed the door behind her. I forgot that part. Lucky let out a sigh with a mop in his hand and found himself suddenly in a chokehold. He broke free and shoved his attacker away. Quit playing, Faf. Ush, ush, ush. Faz laughed. Faz was Lucky's next-door neighbor who, oftentimes, like many other people, he found to be a pest. Faz had a similar speech impediment as the one Lucky did, except his words ended in SH, which he claims is because he wears braces. Man, peel, bruh. I can't have no company. I mean, they really spelled the words with F's. So, if you mispronounce these words, I can see how. Ask the reader. Lucky, I know Lucky and Fast. Lucky yelled, your mom's gone. That's what Lucky was yelling. He can't have no company. Your mom's gone. She's not gonna know. So what? I gotta clean up. Quit being a little bitch, Fast said, shoving Lucky. Quit playing, bruh, Lucky said with a shove of his own. Faz ran up and grabbed Lucky's head in a headlock. Lucky gripped Faz around his torso and squeezed with all he had. Quit playing! This shows how sorry Lucky is. He didn't pick him up and, back suplex him. He just squeezed real hard as he could. Quit playing, Lucky shouted. That's all you say, Faz said, laughing. Bloom! The front door slammed open, and in came Lucky's older brother, known as Big Ten Money, and his counterpart, 90%. Members also of the well-known 100% Nation around Royal Palm. Each of them with scantily dressed women laughing and talking loudly. Dog, y'all niggas gonna have to peel, bruh. That's real, Ten said in his loud, raspy voice. Mama said I got a mop. Dog, do it later. For real, we got some business to handle, 90 added. Come on, let's go, Fast said. The door slammed behind them. Man, I'm gonna get in trouble. Stop all your bitching. You're gonna get the mop the stupid floors. Thunder began to rumble. Lucky looked up at the dark clouds and was once again knocked to the floor by his mother, who was returning to grab her pocketbook. She left next to her favorite chair. That was a mouthful. Sister Loretta grabbed Lucky by the head, lifted him to his feet, and whipped him into the car, sounding off the alarm. Whipped him into a car, sounding off the alarm, and cracking the window. Damn. Poor Lucky dropped to his knees and lay flat on the pavement. Fast caught a quick eye contact with her and bailed as she trotted towards his direction. Inside, Tin Money was playing as a male stripper for the two women dancing to Boys to Men. Sister Loretta entered into the house just as her son was gyrating on the coffee table. The door slammed behind her. Oh, hey, Ma, Tin spoke. Hey, get your feet off the table, baby. Come on, let's go in the room, babies, he said to the women. Sister Loretta grabbed her pocketbook and stepped out. On her way out, she saw Lucky land on the ground. So she dove off the top of the stairs and crashed on top of Lucky with a leg drop. This is abuse. This is pure abuse. Somebody need to report this. Clean that floor, nigga, she yelled, sitting on top of him. Damn. Yes, ma'am, he slightly whispered. She closed the door behind her as the car scourged off. And here's the part that we came here for, folks. Lucky you need to mind your mother, Owana yelled from the car. Lucky's vision was blurred as he struggled to move. Approaching him, he could barely see RJ, walking his pet Rottweiler, Sparky, who is not a Rottweiler, let me mind you, who was already curious when he saw the large figure stretched out on the floor. RJ was a 6-year-old kid and had a slight brain malfunction. He wobbled when he walked and sported a lazy right eye. His voice was pretty raspy for a 6-year-old. It sounded like barber clippers. Lucky could faintly hear him and his barking dog. No, Lucky panicked. The rain began to shower, which seemed to restore Lucky slightly. Lucky, how come you sleeping on the sidewalk? RJ asked. Sparky sniffed Lucky and began barking. Sit, Sparky, RJ commanded him. Lucky picked himself up and headed inside. Hey, where you going? RJ asked him. I got him up. You want me to help you? Come on. They walked in and began to work. RJ behind Lucky neglected to shut the door behind him and didn't see Sparky slip in, tracking in wet mud inside through his mom's room. You know how to wash dishes? Lucky asked. Yes. All right, wash them and I'm a mop. And so he did. And so that's all I got thus far. Who knows what's going to happen next, but I assume Lucky will be getting fucked up since Sparky came in and tracked all that shit on the floor. So that's actually Act 3 of a story. And that part is called The West Side. And that's that. So, oh yeah, didn't introduce my guest. A very long-awaited special guest. This is right here. That's right. A very highly anticipated and highly demanded guest. Alec Tropher will be with me today. He and Sally coming by talking about the Alec Trevelyan workout program and a whole lot more. We're going to go back. We're going to talk about some of the things that Duke mentioned. some things that Yaki talked about, and a whole lot more. You definitely don't want to miss this one. So after a few announcements from my sponsors, I'll be right back with Alec, Tropher, and Sally. You know, sometimes I don't like the motion and commotion of going to like a Kmart or a Walmart or something crazy like that. So I shop at Walgreens. As a matter of fact, the other day I was over at Walgreens and they tell me that I could have saved so much more money by using my Walgreens Balance Rewards card. Restrictions apply for terms and conditions, but to find out more about it, you could go to www.walgreens.com/balance to check out your Walgreens savings card. They always ask me, you know, every time I go to a place like that, hey, do you have a savings card? I always feel like a dumbass because I always tell them no. And I keep on going to the same place and I keep on telling them no. You might as well just get a damn savings cash or a savings card, and you could have been saving on shit the whole damn time and earning rewards to get free stuff later on down the line. You know, I got this handy card at this other place that I shop at, and the other day I got a free drink. I keep on getting free drinks every single day, and I got a free drink. So, but as far as Walgreens, they also say that, did you know you can earn points on thousands of items in store and online? Seek the weekly ad for more information. Items change weekly. Restrictions apply for terms and conditions. Visit www.walgreens.com/balance. Well, after waiting and waiting, finally we got him. What do you mean after waiting and waiting? You damn put me off. We've been waiting for a long time. Exactly. We've been waiting such a long time to be a part of this. I was supposed to be one of your first guests. What's up with this? I'm sorry about it. I'm sorry. Let me go and introduce the man who needs no introduction, 006, and his wife, Sally. Oh, my name's not 006 anymore. My name is Alec Tropher, because I'm always troughing. I coined the phrase troughing, and I got it over. Yeah, I mean, you know, we know what troughing is. Everybody is very familiar with what troughing actually is, even though that's not no word. I heard you with your little stupid intro at the beginning. Are you serious trying to say that Anheuser-Busch is actually a racist? Get out of here, Justin. Come on. You gotta be better than that. Hold on now, Alec. Now, you done pulled your fair share of racist ribs back in the day. It sounded like you were trying to be serious, though. I thought you were I was serious. But Busch Gardens, they put all the black people in the back, and they're gonna put it in the Jungala area. I don't see anything racist about that. Everything has a place. We're gonna get all into the racist talk. We're gonna talk about that a little bit later, and how you we're just gonna talk about it. Like, hey, don't look at me. Shit. How long? 2 seconds. He gets up every time. If y'all don't know what we talking about, ladies and gentlemen, back in the days, you know, I just see Alec walking down the hall, or you know, he'll see me, and he made up this dumbass game. He trying to be like Stone Cold because he used to do this with Edge and Christian, but you know, you know, the point is that you can't make eye contact with the person, and I say if I catch him looking at me in my eyes, I say don't look at me, and then he has to look away. And then, you know, he only has a little bit of time to do it. Yeah. My quickest time is, I think that is my quickest time. You did a good job. You must have been practicing over the years. So we got so much to get into, ladies and gentlemen. Alec and Sally, 2 legends here in XTV. Absolutely. You know, we changed the entire face of what XTV claims to be today, and people didn't want to give us the credit for it, all because of that one thing, Justin. Well, you know, I think that we're starting to get into a time and place where people are more accepting. And I listened to your brother have a shoot last night, you know, with Jazzma, and you know, he made that point. You know, things are more accepted, things are more appreciated, and people start to see things in a more grand perspective. Well, I hope that they're starting to see things in a more grand perspective. If they are starting to see things in a more grand perspective, then the Alec Trevelyan workout program needs to be a part of their lives. What I'm seeing around here is people getting fat, not giving a damn about their life. Look at you, Justin. You're fat. I know I'm fat. I'm fat and I'm happy. It's not cool. Fit's the new it. Don't you want to live more? Don't you want to have more time in your life? What is so hard about you going outside and getting you some sunlight? Well, you know, a lot of people don't have time. That's why I have the app. It's on the 006 app, folks. All you gotta do is download the program on your phone, and you can do this anytime that you want to. You can get into a regimen. You can do it. You can do it for 5 minutes in a day, 10 minutes in a day, 30 minutes, 1 hour, however long you need to do it. But what this workout program is all about is consistency. And it really, really did work. I'm on the Alec Trevelyan workout program. She was over 200 pounds. She'd never been that big. I had never been that size. You saw her, Ernie. She was a giant. And now look at her. She's finer than ever, isn't she? Oh, yeah, she's a hottie. Hey, watch it, boy. It's my wife. All right, well, you know, we was gonna talk. I was gonna talk later about the Alec Trevelyan workout program, but you know, I see that this thing is actually helping millions of people all over the world. I even helped your wife, and you come on here, you dog your wife. Stop doing that, Ernie. Because let me tell you something. What you're doing, you're making it seem not credible. Everybody needs to know that if you commit. If you take the time to put it in your mind that I'm just going to spend this much time doing this, I'm going to eat this much, it's all about portion control. Listen, you can say whatever you want to say. And people are trying to put you on these phony diets like they're really going to work. Hey, you can't have this, you can't eat that. The bottom line is you got to be able to hold yourself accountable, guys. That's what you gotta do. You have to hold yourself accountable. And lucky for me, I had Al. Because if I had not had him, who knows, I could have probably just continued to grow and gain. And Sally, I mean, why you felt like you was gaining so much weight? I mean over time. Well, it's just that, I mean, we've been here all these years at XTV, and it's just like, you know, I don't want to just be known as Sally the Hamburger Girl. You know, I want to be more. That's right. And that's why she got on that program. And look at it. She's sexy. You want a piece of her. I can see. You better stop it right now. Hey, don't look at me. Shit. How long? 5 seconds. You're looking at her with your lustful eyes. I'm looking at you right now. All right? I'm not looking at your wife like that. But you kind of got people looking at my wife like that, though. Martha's a sweetheart. Let me tell you. Oh, she's a dear. Let me tell you something. She came to me on the first day when I launched this app. She said, I want to be a part of your team. I said, Martha, you're the perfect type of person to do this. And I wish, Justin, that you had the guts to do it yourself, but you won't jump on the program. I'm going to jump on the program. I ain't got time. Stop making excuses. It's not about making excuses. It's about being for real. Stop making excuses, Justin. Come out there with your wife. She's already lost 60 pounds. All right? I wish I had a little add-in track. Hey, this isn't a joke. This is the real thing. This can change your life, folks. If you want to keep it real with yourself, if you want to go into 2017 better than you've ever had looked in your life, better than you've ever felt in your life, and let me tell you something. The Alec Trevelyan workout program is the one for you. And it's free. Hello? I mean, how much better could it be? Justin, I want you to say it right here on your podcast. I want you to promise me that you're going to become a part of the Alec Trevelyan team. You're going to be a part of the Alec Trevelyan workout program. Do I have you as a committee? What? Do you commit? Yes, damn it, I commit. That's my boy. Now, can I run my show? Hey, easy. Go ahead. What do you want to ask me? What do you want to ask all out? I want to ask about Yaki Naji. Yeah, you bring me all the way. You have Alec Tropher, all right? Double agent. Haven't done this in a long time. You've got Alec Trevelyan. And you're going to ask me about Yaki? He's a cartoon. Did you remember that? Back in the days, let me tell you something. Back in the days, there were two types of people. There were the real and there were the fake. Yaki's a dream guy. He's walking around here saying these gay things about Jeff Hardy. Bring Jeff Hardy in here. How do you think he feels? He's not very happy about it. Yaki Nigeu's a joke. Next question. All right. Fair enough. Well, you know, let's go back. All right, let's start all over. Let's start to the top. And you know, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, this is just, you know, two old friends shooting the breeze. Alec always giving me a hard time. You're always giving me a hard time, Ernie. It's hard to see you go down the path that's the easy way when there's an easier way. That's all I'm trying to say. And he is right about that too. Well, I know he is. I know he is. All right, now, let's see. Becoming an East Coast guy. Just taking a look at my notes here. And, you know, you started out in the early beginning without, you know, no kind of real direction. But you started out with GoldenEye, and we learned that you was a 00 agent. We learned about the different types of agents. So, won't you just take me on that ride and how you made your transition to the East Coast? Well, let me break it down for you guys. Back then, to put it in perspective, there was no East Coast, West Coast thing. I don't know who came up with this idea. None of that existed. There was, look, I'm on this side, you're on that side, these are my sides, these are your sides. So when I first came in, James had gotten over to the other level. Yeah, gotta. You get caught. And then he met up with me. He met up with me, and I died. That's right. I got killed, and because they had let out all the gas and they didn't know how to get out of there, and I died. But that doesn't have anything to do with the story. The whole point of the story is that I just felt like coming to the East Coast or to this side. So I said. So then the kid AVW, he says, I got 006 on my side. And then and then I go over there and it went Zzz. And just like that. And he's right, just like that. The kid created a whole layout. Put a whole damn layout out there for me. Ends up because see, now we're in April here. Alright. It's April somewhere around 1997. Alright. James White Hot comes in. I told you, revolutionize the business. All right, you follow me? So it's April. This kid's got a Nintendo 64. All right, James is kicking ass and taking names. Okay, mother just got robbed. This is real shit. His mother just, not James, the kid, Tony B. Mother got robbed. Alright. The kid comes in, AVW. He's playing the damn video game. Becomes traumatized by seeing all this gun violence, thinking, damn it, my mother could have died. It's really scary when you think about it. Oh my God, my mother could have. Praise due to holy. My mother could have died. Yeah. So now, I'll go over here. I'm over here on that side. We go over here to some pawn shop. The kid feels terrible. He's not happy. His brother's got all the good stuff. He's got the Nintendo 64. We need something new. He didn't even know that there was a 006 before there was a 007. The kid's so inspired, he turns us into X-Men. Poor kid. Poor kid. But from that shithole of a creation, I met this woman right here. And she said to me, let me tell you what she said. You remember this, Sally? I remember like yesterday. She says to me, I won't marry you because let me tell you something. I got on my knees. I looked in her eyes on that first date. Very first date. You follow me? I said, Sally Tropher. I want to, and I didn't say it like that because that wasn't her name then. I'm paraphrasing. A lot of strikes to the head over the years. I said, Sally Tropher, will you marry me? She looked at me in my eyes. She said, boy, I don't know who you are, but I won't marry you. She said, the only way I'll marry you is if you're willing to adopt these children. I took one look at him. Big 400, 500-pound monster. His name was Hank. Next to him, little fag. That's right. He was gay. I know gay when I see it. Says, that's his brother. This is Beast of Nightcrawler. I said, so basically you want me to do this. I had my hand on my head like this, Justin. You want me, in order to have you, to choose this and this as my family? I looked her in her eyes. I said, you know what? You got it. Because let me tell you something, Ernie. I knew from the moment that I saw her, and I didn't. Wait, let me tell you. I knew from the moment that I saw this woman that she was supposed to be my wife. You understand that? Does that make sense? I completely understand. Sometimes it's just magic. And it's the same thing with me and my wife. You know, sometimes that spark happened. All the spark happened on the set. All that magic, all the high stuff, you know, that love at first sight, you know, that passion, it all built on the show, and it happened really fast. Because people don't even know that I was a poster girl for AVW just the year prior. And I was a part of an art project. Nobody even knew who the girl was. You know, the kid comes through because drawing was the big thing back then. So he draws this picture, all right? And he's showing it to all these, I remember, he's showing it to all his kids. It's Sally. But he doesn't even know it's Sally. He copies it off of some comic or something. All right, so no clue that down the line he's gonna come across her again. I remember a kid comes up to him and says, you know, he's looking down at her chest, you know, because you know Sally's got big honkers. He says, "I bet you like drawing that part." Oh man, that's funny stuff right there. So, anyways, Clone Wars. All right, so I go out. All right, I'm the head guy. All right. Now, like I said, Sega Genesis, Nintendo 64, no comparison. Am I right or wrong? Absolutely not. All right. You got me. You got my wife. You got Beast. You got Nightcrawler. Holy cow! All right. You put us all together. This is Sally knew these guys. I didn't know these guys. They put me in. Okay. Now listen here. Listen to this lineup. Oh, I forgot about Tornado. Here's the lineup. Wolvie, Cyclops, and help me out, Gambit. Yeah, Gambit, Beast Nightcrawler, Magneto. Did you say Wolverine? Yeah, I think I said Wolverine. Okay, here's the lineup. They say, look, Al, we don't have Gambit, we don't have Cyclops. You're gonna play both roles. Holy cow! So, all right. So now I gotta play two roles. So you know, ever since the beginning, this is how they've been doing me. They've been bullshitting me around ever since the beginning, Ernie. You watch the whole damn thing. I have to make chicken shit, or I have to make chicken salad out of chicken shit. What do? I go out there. I say, all right. This guy Gambit, you know, he doesn't do much. He's got more like a punch thing. You know, the guy Cyclops shoots things out of his eyes. I don't want that. I roll with Gambit. I'm Tropher. I got my jacket. I'm kicking ass, taking names. What do we do? First level, Magneto. Beat him so bad, we made the damn level boss become a part of our side. Everybody on that show worked. Let me tell you something. The first time I tagged Beast goes out there. Beast goes out there. He's kicking ass. Everybody knows about Beast. He's Hank. He's from the X-Men. We got a sort of idea because back then in those times, you don't really know whether about X-Men too much. You didn't check it out that much. But then you have Beast. He comes in there. He goes, "Hey Sally, Hub." He goes, "Hub." That's all he does. I swear to God. He gets on there one time. He goes, "Hub." then he beats the damn level. He's kicking ass. He's taking him. They go to the next level. There's a song. It goes Doom. Next thing you know, Beast comes in. Hub. Completely gets the whole damn thing over. Now it's Nightcrawler. Here he comes. Nightcrawler's like the damn Diddy Kong of this whole thing because he's running around. He's going fast. So we're like, okay, we can work with this. We know this. The big dummy, which Beast is no idiot, but and then we got the little skinny guy who can do more. Nightcrawler was a hoot because he was gay, and then he would be arguing with Beast. Now, to keep everything in perspective, that angle was taken from the Donkey Kong Diddy thing, all right? So now you got that. So when you take Donkey Kong and Diddy, you mix it in with a little bit of 007, but on a 2D scale, all right? Sally's backing me up, all right? I make the hot tag to Sally, all right, because she can hold things down. And then look at me. I can transfer it back to Gambit and Cyclops. And then every now and again you had Tornado with it. And Tornado was good. Tornado was really good. And it's just too bad that they didn't use him. Well, Tornado was a damn drunk. He wasn't on half of the damn TV shows. We held the damn thing ourselves. But the damn thing was overbooked. I mean, Sally, me, Beast, Nightcrawler, that was enough. We didn't need anymore. We didn't need Tornado. We didn't need Magneto. Hey, Magneto never even worked. Magneto, we beat his ass so bad. We just beat his ass so bad. I said, Magneto, stay. Does that make sense? All right, calm down, Alec. Let's try to get some control over here because you're going all over the place. You're just trying to laugh like Ric Flair. I'm just telling the truth. This is how it really worked. I gotta take a break, but when we come back, we got more with Alec and Sally. This is the good stuff, ladies and gentlemen, and it's a good time on this here podcast. Stay with me. I'm telling you the truth. Vaseline Intensive Care Spray Moisturizer has essential healing. And this brand right here, ladies and gentlemen, is a particular lineup of a continuous spray type. That's right. These right here, instead of you just having to squirt it out the typical jar, this right here you can spray on your hand, and it's easy for on-the-go type of activities that you might encounter throughout the day. It moisturizes and absorbs in seconds to help heal dry skin. It has a non-greasy formula with micro droplets of Vaseline jelly. That's right. And like I said, it's essential healing. It absorbs in seconds, moisturizes to help heal dry skin. Sometimes I develop a little bit of dry skin from not putting on my gloves. It's 111, and so I need something like this to instantly leave skin soft with a non-greasy or sticky type of formula. Dispenses evenly with all-in-one, all-over spray. But for your best results, they suggest that you use it daily. Hold it 4 inches from your skin and spray all over the body in a continuous motion. Quickly rub it in to moisturize your skin instantly, and you had a full effect of this thing right here. As a matter of fact, I don't know if you can hear that, but I just not sprayed some on my hand. I'm gonna use some right now because I'm kind of ashy right around the elbows. So y'all get back to this podcast. And I'm going to go and lube up, but I'm not jacking off. Yeah, let me tell you. All right. I taught Beast early on how to trough. All right. Think about me over the different years. Diamond Dallas Page trough. Ric Flair trough. Stone Cold trough. Big Boss Man trough. Vince McMahon trough. All these different troughs. Look at Beast. Big Show trough. All right, Raven trough. He picks all these different troughs. You know, Kevin Nash trough in the ring. He said he comes up to me. He says, you know, damn it, Dad, I don't want to wear drawers because everybody knows the original Hank McCoy. He's a blue, you know, he wears drawers, which is perfect. You know, he looks like a damn wrestler. Hank comes to me. He says, Dad, I don't want to wear drawers. I don't want a drawers trough. I said, Hank, just go ahead and go out there and put on some boots. He says, Dad, I feel like a fucking idiot. I said, all right, here's what you do. Beast, you're 6'11". You're a damn monster. Kevin Nash trough. He said, Kevin Nash trough. I said, leather pants, white or red stripes down the side, get a tank top, show off your muscles, write Hank on the front. Got over like a son of a bitch. I said, Hank, look, you're a big tough badass. Undertaker trough. That's what he did. He went out there and he troughed every kind of way and he got it over. He got it over. Ladies and gentlemen, we are sitting here and he did not stop talking at all through the damn break. I'm sitting here with Alec Tropher. I told him, I said, hold on, we got to take a break. The motherfucker kept on going. You can't stop this guy, but we love it all right here on A Good Time Podcast with your boy, yours truly, the one and only, Ernest Justin Turkey Leg. Don't look at me. Damn! Stop doing that! How long? 8 seconds. You gotta love it. Alright, so we was talking about the early days, pardon me. And I was going to ask you that. I wanted to know how you ended up with Nightcrawler and Beast. That's exactly how it was. Sally gave me the ultimatum. You know, and let me tell you something. It was a great decision. Where is Nightcrawler nowadays? Nightcrawler is out doing his own thing. He's a free spirit. And let me tell you something. I had a talk with Nightcrawler before he left. And I said, you're always going to be a son to me. I said, I treated you like that because I wanted you to be a man. He said, you know what, Dad? He said, and this brought a tear to my eye. He said, the only reason why I went and I changed my voice. The boy had a damn operation so he can look more like Beast. Do you remember that, Justin? He had left, he was all skinny and he was a little punk kid. He comes back, he's all big and bulky. He said, I wanted to look like Beast because you treated him better. Brought a damn single tear to my eye. He said, I was just trying to prove to you all along that I was tough. I said, you know what? You just proved that to me right now. I feel like a damn idiot. Because you just not made me realize that right now, boy. And now you look at it nowadays, all this gay stuff, gay marriage, gay this, gay that. You know what? It don't matter. It doesn't matter. It don't matter. As long as you're right with yourself, as long as you're right with the Lord. Alright? For the sake of the sorrowful passion, Justin. I know. For the sake of the sorrowful passion. You know, a lot of people say that, you know, you was a little bit too stiff when it came to in the ring because, you know what I mean, you were very successful, of course, doing the different TV shows, but when it came to it, I mean, you know, when it came to kicking ass and taking names, you was definitely one to do that. I mean, with your encounters with Johnny Lagoon, the Ad Monster, and I remember a particular Teletubby where you finished his career by throwing his ass on the roof and he couldn't get down. Talk about that, Alec, being too stiff. They can say that I was too stiff. You know, let me tell you something. Grow up. Quit being a punk. All right? You know, if you ask me, I taught guys how to take bumps properly. Beast, take a bump. Bobby, take a bump. Best, take a bump. All right? I toughened up these guys. I put them in crippler cross faces. All right? And then, as far as my style on certain things, look, I can admit, maybe I was a little bit too rough, you know, but I lightened up on the guys. I mean, couple of moves. one leg hit. I take a guy, and that's where I'm about to set him up. By one of his legs, hit him with my forearm like this. All right, the idea is just to punch it with your fist, but I hit it like this so that it looks good and it doesn't hurt the guy. I took care of him. Then I take the other leg, one leg hit. Then I take both legs. I look out to the crowd for their approval. They're going crazy. They're going nuts. Double leg hit. And I always would think that when the guy's coming down that the back of his heel would hit the ground so hard, but he was perfectly fine. All right. Then now that I see that he's fine, he's in perfect position as he's coming down. Grab the legs again. Look to the crowd. They're going nuts. I started to tell a story. That man went way up there. I just freestyled the whole damn thing. Depending on how the crowd navigates. The guy's getting his ass kicked. He's loving it. He's down there laughing. So two-step. I don't think so. I don't think so at all. And then they say, oh, you push Sally out of the chair, or you push Dixie, or somebody like that. Listen, all right, it was all a work. People took my character way too seriously. The same thing they do with any guy who gets over. They think that the guy who's over is the be-all, end-all. Let me tell you, that's not the case. It's not the case, kids. Yours truly, Alec Tropher. And, of course, you definitely made famous the knife edge chop. Alec, you can't tell me that the knife edge chop don't hurt. Let me tell you something. The knife edge chop is supposed to hurt, but let me tell you something. That's what got it over. Look, teenage kids. The kid AVW would take the knife edge chop to the school. The whole damn school knife edge chopping people. People that he doesn't even know now. They're knife edge chopping each other. Yeah, that's the power of Alec Tropher. But you was just over like a motherfucker. I had this one. We wanted to do this one thing and it didn't get over. I mean, this is how big it got, Justin. All right, picture this. And they were really thinking about doing this because I think that Tony B had some problem in school. The damn kid was so crazy. He wanted to take his radio, get WWF The Music Volume 3, play the Stone Cold Steve Austin music, let me run in, do a damn run into his damn classroom, ramshack the damn place, start kicking ass and taking names to the damn children, and then take off right off into the sunset like the badass that I am. Can you believe that? If that would have happened, we'll probably still be in jail right now. Well, thank Jesus. Thank goodness. But that's just the mind. And that's just how crazy. And the level. That's what it was all about. It was just about pushing the level. 006 with the dogs. Let me tell you. We would go out there. And it's like, we did this last episode. Alright, let's do this episode. It's like, last episode, I'm on this part of the tree. This episode, I'm on that part of the tree. Now the next episode, I'm not going to deal with the trees. Now I'm going to interact more with Ginger. Now, Ginger's running the show. Whatever Ginger does. So if she, I'm trying to get Ginger to do something, and she's just sitting there, panting away like a little doggy. And I might do one of two things. I might say, "Damn it, Ginger, you're the sorriest damn villain I've ever seen," or I might make a big deal and make it look like she's doing the craziest thing, and she's really screwing me up, and she's just sitting there. So it's all about the psychology of the whole damn thing. Another episode, I might just stay inside the shed the whole time. So it's just all these different things that you can do. And you were very well at that. Everybody enjoyed 006 with the dogs. It's just like you took things from the James Bond show, like the introduction, and you made that the 006 with the dogs introduction, what I mean? And just the whole idea of 006 period. You just seen those two letters, I mean, and it's just because, like, everybody knew about who 006 is, or who 007 is, but nobody even fathomed that there was a 006 or a 005. I mean, was that even a thought of, bringing in these different 00 agents, or was it just you and James the whole time? Well, there was no room There was absolutely no room for anybody to come in from the outside trying to say, I'm 00 this or 00 that. Hey, I'm cousin, 0010. That's just not going to work because we had everything down pat, And then, one thing that James didn't even talk about on this podcast, which, you got to get him over here and start asking the hard questions. Talk about when he Scott Hall-troughed. How big that was, huh? That was a big deal. I'd like to know more about that. But one thing that he did talk about was saying that that we had a good relationship. Come on, who are you kidding? You guys were all right there. You guys saw how we would. Before there was Bobby and Best, there was James and Alec. All right, where do you think Black Rage? Where do you think all that stuff comes from? And then what did he do? He used to do Fat Boy. Oh yeah, all that good stuff. Let me tell you something. Me and James had heat with each other for years, and then I would always cry and I always say, you just want to be the better one or something like that. There was something I used to say to him, and yeah, we had a bittersweet relationship, to say the least. Yeah, I remember those days. Y'all two fighting all the time. It just went hand in hand. I mean, he kind of, his stardom sort of birthed you, and then you just took off. You just took off like a rocket. And like he was mentioning earlier on, you was doing the Clone Wars. How far did you guys get on Clone Wars? I'll tell you one thing, Ernie. It was such a long time ago, way back. It was way back then, but I imagine we beat it. I imagine we defeated it and emerged triumphant. You know what though? Now I think about it, you know what happened? The damnedest thing. So we're doing it just came to me. We're doing Clone Wars. All right, we're moving forward. Everything's progressive. But here's the thing with Clone Wars. It was a good show. It was a damn good show, and it was good every time they aired it. But they still slept on us. It was still all about, believe it or not, the cartoon boy Yaki. It was still all about that type of stuff. He seemed to have such a great impact on on everything that nothing could come through, and that really pissed me off. It really frustrated me at the time. Now that I can look back, hindsight 2020, and see that it was all because of this situation. I wish that I would have had the mind to go to the network and say, hey, what are you doing? You got a damn good TV show on the network, and you're screwing around with us. And that's what I would have did. But long story short, what they end up doing is they completely cut our show, because this is on the tail end of the Sega Genesis era, and we were probably the last game that was ever picked up. All right, so AEW again. Tony B, since got a Nintendo 64. All right, there's no competition. How in the hell are we going to be able to compete with 007? And that's one thing that Duke was alright about. He said that we were trying to compete with 007. Yeah, look, we're on a damn 2D scale. All right, we're already losing. This guy's 3D. He's shooting people on the face. He's meeting new characters. Dr. Doak, bringing in new people. Brandy Webb. What are we doing? So even though we were doing a good job for where we were, it still was no 007. All right, does that make sense? Yeah, I got you. So the kid trades in the damn Sega Genesis. He's all bummed out. He's pissed off because he's not getting a PlayStation, which is going to at least put us on an even playing field. And not that this was a competition. It's just that we wanted to play. We wanted to play with the big boys. We wanted to go out there and show, damn it, we can trough. And we got shitted on. We got sidelined. In fact, during that time period, I think that's when 006 with the dogs came, and that's what came out of that. That's the reason that 006 with the dogs came out, because it's just like you still got to have a show out. You're too damn white hot. There was no way to ignore 006, and that's what they called me back then. Hey, 006, 006, But I told them my name was Trevelyan Allen. Trevelyan, and I get that from The Rock. But anyways, where was I? And you were talking about how you had got. Oh yeah. So 006 was the dogs. Sable, let me tell you something. He's the prized pooch. Everybody knows about that. But that guy had an angry attitude on set. I said, Sable, hey, let me lift your leg. Let me shake your hand. Nobody told your ass to sit up there and try to dig up under the fence and escape. They put this guy Frank. All right. Now, picture this. You're dealing with a dog. All right. The dog wants to get out of the fence. He keeps digging holes under the fence to escape for some damn reason. What's possessing this guy to do this? Because you never see a dog do this. Sable's the only dog that I've ever seen do some crap like this. Anyways, so Frank puts down this barricade, this mesh metal to prevent him. So what's Sable do? Now he's scratching into the damn mesh. Next thing you know, his damn claws are scratched up. So I can't give him a 5. He's getting mange. He's destroying himself. And if you ask me, I think it was the drugs. Because backstage, I would say, hey, Sable, do you want to talk? And, he just never wanted to talk to me, and, he was a jerk. He really was. Ginger was a dear. Ginger was a sweetheart. Everybody knows, anything you tell her to do, she'd do it. And I said to her, Ginger, listen, we got a big show coming on. There's going to be a big show coming up. Ginger, you got to take a shower. She said to me, Al, I don't want to take a shower, but damn it, we're going to have fun doing it anyways. And, you can tell she's terrified. She's sitting up there crying and laughing at the same time while we're bathing her. It's just the most adorable. It's just so cute. Just adorable thing. But Sable, he was vicious. And Alec just wanted to give him 5. I can only pat him on the head because he had mange on the back from all the drugs. You're not supposed to eat human food, Sable. Rest in peace, for crying out loud. Sable and Ginger will be missed. You got any other good Sable and Ginger stories? Off my head, the best thing I can remember, I think it was the 006 with the Dogs movie. We did this one at nighttime. And, this was probably supposed to be, I might be wrong. This was probably supposed to be in the place of SIDE. It probably didn't come on one night or something like that. And Ginger played a huge role. Like I said, Ginger was just more willing to cooperate. Sable, you try to wash him. He's running all around. We had to trap him into the Shedger Dome. Spray him down. He's running all over the place. And it really pissed me off. So I'd spray him in the face with the water hose. Fond memory, Alec. What else you want to know? Let's take a look. Man, good time. Talk a little bit about how you got to the Duke Nukem phase. Well, let's see. Duke Nukem. I guess Duke. Which is eventually all right. Eventually, what happens is SIDE breaks through. A lot of things come out in 1997. All right, because people don't realize we were here since 1995. All right, Alec Trevelyan family, Sally, Beast, Nightcrawler. All right, and the family continued to grow. But progressively, as things continue to build, I believe what happened was we just had to get Duke Nukem 3D. We saw it right there on PlayStation. I guess we didn't realize it was on PlayStation. We're out and about. We're seeking a new TV show, something to be hot. And, it's just one of those things that, without question, hey, that's what we're going to get. Because standing next to 006 or 007, GoldenEye, was Duke Nukem. Another, the same type of game, except it was a little bit more gory. and it was just another way for the damn what do they call it, the West Side to shit on us. So to speak. No disrespect to those guys, but that's what you were doing. Whether or not you realize it, you were shitting on us. You were winning. And it took us a long time to finally, be able to, kind of meet those guys face to face, if we ever did. I can't even, say looking back, because, on the grand scale of everything, a lot of stars came out of that time, and a lot of people proved to be, worth the shoes that they were trying to fill. But Duke Nukem, to answer your question, he came about because they had Duke Nukem, of course, so we needed something that mirrored something exactly what they had. Too bad we couldn't mirror GoldenEye. We probably damn near would be close. And that's why you saw me later on doing, what was that, Die Another Day? Or The World Is Not Enough. The World Is Not Enough, that's it. Finally, be able to get my hands on something, and be like, all right, I'm like that. But, that's later on down the line. Doing Duke Nukem, fun shit. And you know what? I felt good. I felt good about doing Duke Nukem. I felt real good about it. It's like, all right, damn it, put a gun in my hand, put me on a 3D scale. I don't give a damn if I'm fighting pigs, humans. Damn, it doesn't matter. Because I'm going to go out here, I'm going to kick some ass, and I'm going to tell it like it is, and ain't nothing that nobody can do about that. You want to be Stone Cold Steve Austin, Alec, but we going to let that slide. Oh, man, we got to take another break, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sitting here with Alec and Sally. They giving us all the good shit. Stay with me, man. Stay with me a little while. A little while. Ladies and gentlemen, I live in Brandon, and I'm from Tampa, but I got to tell you that the good folks over there at Sarasota Ford will do you right. I be out here on these routes, and, ain't too many nice people. But I got to tell you, I was having this little issue. I was having a hard time being able to do my podcast and sit by this electrical equipment and drink beverages. Well, the good folks over there at Sarasota Ford, this one guy gave me this little thing to put over my cup so that the stuff don't drip all over the place. That's why I got to tell y'all to holler at my people over at SarasotaFord.com. That's right. Not only does it have this thing that keep my water from spilling all over the place, but the good folks at SarasotaFord.com got their website on there to remind me that if I need a used car or a new car or truck, that I can just holler at them, and within minutes they can hook me up with the Ford car or truck that I want. So, and you can tell that, without me even being a customer, man, I'm just over there making a delivery, that they good-hearted people, just like my good friend Joe over there at SarasotaFord.com. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sitting here with Alec Tropher, a.k.a. Alec Trevelyan, a legend here in XTV. God bless you. Thank you. And, it's this weed right here. It made me sneeze. Who's your buyer? Who's your seller? Why would I tell you that, Alec? We're recording here. Listen, I am not involved in any type of way with the law. You have my word. And you was talking about you were talking about Duke Nukem before we broke. And I just want to say, now, listen, I'm definitely not one to be correcting anybody, but I'm pretty sure that before you did Duke Nukem, that you had the Doom Show. Am I right or wrong? Oh, yeah, I forgot all about that. And, hey, listen, that was nothing to sleep on. Absolutely not. The Doom Show was fantastic. In fact, we didn't want to move over. We didn't want to go to Duke Nukem, now that I think about it. We did, but we didn't. Because like I said, we wanted to be able to mirror what they had over there, or something like that. We wanted to do something along the lines that they were doing over on the west side. But we had something good with Doom. And really, Duke Nukem was the continuation. Duke Nukem kind of just joined me in my quest to, kick all these aliens' ass. because we were doing all this stuff, and then Duke Nukem was just a continuation of it, Daddy. Well, I thought that I was right. It went Doom, then Duke Nukem. Both of those ideas, though, was inspired by the whole GoldenEye and what 007 was doing over there. You gotta, you get caught. Gotta love it. He made songs. That was the thing to do back then. That's why I told you, Beast come in up, up. Sally, what was your fascination with Beast and Nightcrawler? I mean, why did you have, Alec come in here and say that he was gonna? I mean, that's just something strange. Hank and Nightcrawler and I had been together for years and years and years, and we were X-Men. We were a part of something that was a totally different world from what we were getting into, and X-Men was a thing that AVW just never thought would be a part of XTV because he was just never into it. And so what ends up happening is, it's like Alec said, it was the end of the Sega days. And so with the Sega days ending, it was just like only so many games that were actually worth it, because you have to think about how all of the good stuff, as far as wrestling, he had all the wrestling games. Just listen, game after game. A lot of stuff. All the Mortal Kombats, 1, 2, and 3, plus Ultimate, all these different miscellaneous games. So, what's left to pick? He has Vector Man, he has all the Sonics, he has Pac-Man, he has all the classics, anything that anybody cares about. And the only thing that he hasn't really tapped into is X-Men. And so he ended up getting us. And that's how we became a part. But we didn't use X-Men names. He called me Sally because I was white. And that's the whitest name that he can think of. And then he just left Beast and Nightcrawler because they stand on their own. They're special. They're very special. And so that's why they had to come with me. Because nobody's just going to want to be with some mutants. And that's what makes Alec special. That's right, because I was able to sit there. I said, hey, anything for you, baby. And we've been together ever since then. People don't realize all the years that Alec and Sally have been married right here on HTV.
Through the ups and downs, through thick and thin,
till death do us part. For the sake of his sorrowful passion,
have mercy on us and on the whole world.
Eternal Father, I offer you the body and blood, soul and divinity. You really changed things when you was doing that. I think that was 2006. You heard that playing on the radio. And, it was in Frank Carr. And that just really became, your thing. Well, you got to understand. Here's the kid AVW now. He's trying to, get a better perspective of life. He's broadening his horizons. He's getting deeper into the Word of God. So naturally, things are going to change. And things are going to become in such a way that, the characters change. And it makes perfect sense for us to be a church family. Hey, I'm getting older. I'm not the same guy. I'm much older than I used to be. I used to be the hot young stud. By this point in 2006, I've settled down. And that's why you don't see me much now. I come in, I make special appearances. I make it matter. I'm not one of these old fossils that's trying to come out here and be on the front scene. Hey, look at me. Hey, it's not about that with me. I've had my run, and I'm fine with that. It is getting ahead, but that was funny how you just switched it, and I had a good time watching you and Sally do that type of stuff. Well, we're always going to be entertaining. That's what we're supposed to do. We're characters. We're XTV guys. We're superstars. So you always got to sharpen your sword, but you always got to know your place as well. Well said. I definitely agree. And I'm not calling you an old fossil, even though you're just probably older than me, Ernie. But you're doing a podcast. Hey, you're creating a new avenue for XTV, where people can talk and say whatever they want, so I can dig it. It's always a good time. I'm having a great time here. I don't even know where to go after that. Let's see. You go from Doom to Duke Nukem, and then 006 with the dogs is still hot. Oh yeah, still white hot. 006 with the dogs didn't end until probably about 1999. In 1999, and here's another thing to put in perspective. Because you see, you don't realize what you're going through while you're going through it. You see what I mean? Now, this kid, AVW, he's probably about, 1999, he may be 14, probably 13 years old. And as a 14-year-old, you're going through these different things. You got girls on your mind. Your body's going through these different changes. And so I think that contributed, and it kind of mirrored itself or came through in XTV. When you look at, I look at that as being like the last era. I'm talking about 1999 here. The last era where there were TV shows, there was, and that type of look in XTV. Sure, it changed, and you got started to do the whole Sides of Getting, and we got to that point, but that was the end of it. I was going to make a point with that, but I completely forgot it. Well, it's interesting that you bring up 1999 because in 1999 is that show The World Is Not Enough, which we'll get to. But before that, Sally, you did your thing with a TV show as well when you teamed up with Laura Croft, and I think that Alec and Duke was probably doing something else. Time to Kill, yeah, Time to Kill, back in 2000 or during that time period. I think probably right before Time to Kill. That's when Sally did her shtick with Laura Croft. Walk us through that, Sally, and tell us about what that experience was like. Coming behind Alec and coming behind so much.
Well, as you know, Ernie, there's so much pressure being, a female doing that type of a show. I think that I'm the first girl to ever actually do a TV show on the East Coast and be a female voice. Like, nobody ever did that. I'm sort of like the first lady in that respect, not to take anything away from Baby or anything like that, but during that time, she was only a wrestler. And so we represented two very different things, if you think about it. But when it comes to XTV and me being aside on, what were we talking about?
We're talking about the Laura Croft show, Tomb Raider.
Oh yeah, that's right. Well, I started off on Laura Croft too, and I guess that was a good thing because back then, they had me in a mansion. I had my own separate place that was off the XTV home base. And that was a really cool thing. I enjoyed that. It was just really, really nice to be able to take everybody on this exploration with me and show them my house, and on the inside of my house, I would play music and I would go on these obstacle courses, and it was very personal and very interpersonal with myself and my audience, and I appreciated that. I went through different levels. It was tough learning to be controlled, or how to control myself, if that makes any type of sense. I didn't know how to move around because the control was just different from how Alex was, or from Duke Nukem. or anything that we were used to. Everything had a function: to turn left, R2; to turn right, R1. And it was just like, oh my gosh, it's very intricate. But it was fun. They brought in Laura Croft, who wasn't a part of the show at first. They brought her in because they thought that I was boring. They thought I was very boring, and the only reason why they would keep me around is because just to get to the next level. They said, yeah, we just want you to get to the next level so we can see how it looks. So I had to keep on going, and Laura was supposed to help me. They brought in Alec sometimes, and he would talk to me to kind of get the ratings up, because they figured since he was successful, but they didn't want it to be all about him. They wanted me to have my own thing, and I guess I just wasn't pulling the weight. Even Spyro the Dragon was doing better than me in ratings, and that hurt. That was really sad to know that, I wasn't able to pull the weight, but I was at a disadvantage if you think about it. And here I am coming after all these greats, Alec and, Donkey Kong and Diddy and Super Mario, and they're just all outstanding. And here I am, this, kind of a sidekick of an sideshow, and, I don't really have a chance to sort of get my feet wet. You know what I'm saying?
I feel you, Sally. I know how XTV can be, and we all know about the cruelties. I know I've definitely been, on the giving end of the, cruel comments. But I think it makes you tough, and Sally, it's like James said in his shoot. It's hard to remember certain things because, it didn't get recorded back then. But at the same time, those memories live in our hearts. And I remember your show didn't suck. You had some moments, and they wouldn't have kept on going on with your show if it wasn't something about it that was special. And it's like you said, you had that mansion, and you would go on these different levels, and you had unique missions that you had to do, and you had different. Yeah, you did have different levels, and places that looked different, from like what Alec was doing. But I don't know. I remember that, like, moving forward, it progressively got better for you guys, for your TV show. And they even brought in another Tomb Raider to come after that. Now, I'm not so sure if you had beat that Tomb Raider Part 2, but I remember they was going to give you another shot at a show that was more easier to navigate.
But that didn't work out. Or maybe it did have a very short term, but when you look at how things were, it's just like it took so long to develop, and it's like you just kind of... when you're coming behind somebody like that's just so great, like I just mentioned, all those greats, then the next person who's up always has it that much tougher because you always have to live up to this expectation.
Unless you do something that's completely different, like the ATV series, which is just going to be fun anyways, but, that's a whole nother point. I really enjoyed Sally's show, like you said, Ernie. People probably don't remember, but it's like we said, these things weren't recorded, and these things do have a special place in our hearts. Sally did a wonderful job as a host on her own TV show, and she also did a wonderful job in the ring. People don't remember she was the women's champion. She went out there and troughed. First lady, yeah, I think so. During a certain time of 1997, it's just like you mentioned, Baby wasn't the thing. She is now, but she wasn't the thing back then. It was all about Sally. She was the lady. She was the poster girl, so to speak. So people forget about things, and it's all cool. Now back to you, Alec. The world is not enough. All right, 006 with the dog, legendary. It continues to thrive, and now here's your farewell show. You did Duke Nukem, you did Time to Kill, and now you finally, as you mentioned earlier on, you got a platform that's kind of like your brother's. Talk about this. The thing about it too, for some reason, I remember Tomorrow Never Dies. I got to get with James and ask him, was that on his system or was it on mine? But I remember Tomorrow Never Dies for some reason. But the world is not enough. The main thing I remember about that is how easy it was. I didn't feel very challenged by it. It seemed like I went through those levels fairly quickly, and within about maybe a month, of consistent play, I think I beat it. I played blackjack, and the guy would always say, "Good luck, sir." And then if I lose, he'd say, "Bad luck, sir." That's what I mostly remember about that. Not knocking the thing though. I had a great time playing it. It was a great time. I just felt like I went through it a little bit too fast. I think some of the best games are the ones where, you might spend a little bit of time on a level because you're getting your ass kicked and you can't quite figure out how to get through. So you keep on starting off at the same save point for about a week or 3 days or so, But with this one, I didn't find it that challenging, even on the hardest level. But I had all my heavy artillery. I brought all my family members, and everybody would make their little cameos here and there. And that was The World Is Not Enough. My farewell show, saying, "All right, guys, so long. No more of Alec doing TV shows." And that's why you saw right after that Grand Theft Auto, and that's why Beast was on Grand Theft Auto and not me. Because it was Beast's turn. I was sort of passing the torch down because I always knew that Beast had something special, and I'm not going to ruin the conversation on that. I'll let you talk to Hank about this, but he showed you years prior that he had something special about him, and right here, when he had that show, Grand Theft Auto, he proved it right there. Was that during the time period that you adopted Dixie as well?
I think we adopted Dixie later. I don't know how she came on board, but she's just a good girl.
The poor child, she's just got so many things that she just doesn't understand. And I have to sit down with her. I said, "Hey, listen, Dixie. All right, the world doesn't work like that." And she's like, "Yes, it does." I said, "Hey, no, it doesn't." She's such a cute kid. I said, "No, it doesn't, Dixie.
She's really troubled." And if you look into some XTV magazines, they have these very disturbing pictures of such a sweet little girl.
Nobody would ever imagine that she's from damn Donkey Kong. She's the Dixie from Donkey Kong. Another special kid. She's cutting on her wrist. My God. And that's probably what that had to do with. We don't want to see this special girl go to waste. Can you imagine, Ernie, what would have happened if Sally and I didn't pick up Dixie and make her one of our own?
And we're just blessed to have her come home every night.
And then she's got the best thing in the world. This kid Todd. All right, great kid, love him. You gotta have him on your show, Justin. Listen, this kid Todd. He's in the band, all right? Super smart, It's just a great guy. You gotta talk to him. Well, Todd's got some reputation, and that's not what most people see in Todd. Well, people are wrong. That's why you gotta bring him on your show, so they can get the right idea about him. You gotta. Come on. Make it happen. All right, let's see. What else? Well... Let's talk about it a little bit, later on down the line. And 006 with the Dogs makes its return. Are you talking about 2008? Yeah, the returning show. Was Duke on that show? I'm not sure. I think he might have been. No. Duke was on
Alec Knows Best.
Yeah, he was on Alec Knows Best. But as far as the return in 006 with the Dogs, hey, one of those things. I like to think that it was the 006 with the dogs, and that just shows you how over this show was. Here we are, having this grand reunion, and they bring back these two dogs. Damn, they look just like Sable and Ginger. They were adorable. Wasn't the real ones. Tragic what happened to the real ones. They took them to the pound, and that's a sad picture. I love those dogs. Sable.
It's okay, honey. It's okay.
But sorry, got a little emotional. 006, yeah, 006 with the dogs. Definitely had to bring back everybody. Nightcrawler, Beast, Sable, Ginger. It wouldn't be, I said Ginger. I wouldn't say, it wouldn't be a 006 with the dogs if it didn't have everybody in the entire cast. And, yeah, it was just a blast. I mean, we sat up all night laughing our asses off because we were doing this play-by-play. You gotta keep in mind, we don't know a damn thing about animation, all right? So this is the first shot because the first time we ever animated anything, we had Mr. Pac-Man. He's just walking, across the screen, with his mouth open and closing. All right, that was the first ever animation that we ever tried, just to see if it would work, and we were in awe about that. So we're coming up with this script as we're going. We're animating and recording as we go, so this took the fucking whole night. I'm surprised that you were able to get get that 5 minutes or however long the damn thing is, done. And you probably see some little cheat spots in there where, it could have been some animation, but it's just something, that's just a bunch of BS. So, yeah, we knew that was going to be a hit, and it was supposed to be something that, kept on going for, a long time, more than that, just that one episode. That was the pilot. And who knows, later on down the line, there might be more. I really enjoyed that, and, I think that probably got a lot of hits on it. The guys really loved it. They can quote every single word for word. It's just one of those things where you just know you got one. Absolutely. And it's tough too. I mean, Alec, to be able to make that type of comeback after the racial allegations, I wanted to touch on that before we got out of here, because during a certain time period, once things fell off, James started to, or not fell off, but kind of just like damned out. I know what you mean. Yeah, and James started to do this sort of thing where he was being racist and, using the racist remarks, and you followed suit. What's your thoughts on that? Listen, Ernie. Everything in XTV's will work. If a real problem arises, it's taken, and a story is making out of it. Am I right or wrong? Well, that's true. All right. So to put this in perspective, you got to think about how, me and James came in together. And it's like you said, things aren't really, going right for the TV shows. That's not really a thing. So he's doing his thing. And when we meet up, I pick up on that. So I started to do it my damn self. Which, in hindsight 2020, probably not the brightest of ideas. But what I'm saying to you is that it was just a work. Listen, and then it got to the point. I was trying to prove that, I was trying to make it like, hey, listen, guys, hey, I'm just working here, all right? This is not a real thing, but it's just that my star power, it overshadowed me as a person, my own star power, and so because of that, people took what I said so serious, all right, just like they do with a whole lot of guys who are super over. They took what I said so serious, and they hung on every word that I said, not realizing I was working. And so, things got out of hand, and I couldn't dig myself out of that damn hole for the life of me. He was miserable. He was so horrible. And he said, honey, I don't know what's going on. They hate me now. Everything's just completely turned on me. They think I'm a racist. And I said, honey, I know you're not a racist, and you're just going to have to sit this out and let it die down. I didn't want to hear that either. I didn't want to hear that at all. So, I kept on going out. I kept on trying to do different things. We get a pop here or there, but it wasn't like the old days. And so, sort of newer guys were starting to come through. Alec was a big deal, and I stopped. I just stopped doing it. I stopped doing it, and I fell back. I started doing the whole Ric Flair thing, and I just started letting Bobby kind of do his own thing, because like I said, I let the new guys do their own thing. Hey, if this is what you want to do, if this is where the crowd wants to go, I'm perfectly fine with that. But I always knew that there would be a space for me as a legend to come back and legend trough. And that's what you're seeing me do now, and that's what you're seeing me do over the years. Hey, listen, we could sit here a whole nother hour and talk about, my time when I was the World Heavyweight Champion, when I JBL troughed. You see? Whole different trough from how I did 10 years prior. Yeah, speaking of that too, like, we're jumping all around, but I keep on forgetting to mention stuff. I was supposed to talk about when you was a part of SIDE, because that was a big deal too. Oh yeah. Well, hang on a second. I'm gonna look over there. Yeah. So, this is probably like 1998, 1999. They always kept me active, which is a good thing. I was always appreciative of that. Some situations they had me handle. It's like I just wasn't really happy with it at first. Like I talked about, they wanted me to be Gambit, they wanted to be Cyclops. Damn it, pick a guy. All right, it doesn't make sense for me to be able to shoot beams in this scene, and then in this scene I can't. Just pick a fucking guy. So I didn't like that. I didn't like the idea of being 006 with the Dogs and then doing 006 with Duke. Well, damn it. Now, how in the hell is this gonna make sense? They say, oh no, in real life you're shooting the aliens, you're saving planet Earth, but 006 with the Dogs, that's just a family friendly show. I did that, got the whole damn thing over. It's a stupid idea when you think about it. First I'm destroying aliens, now I'm a family friendly home kind of guy. Well, I thought that you was in 006 with the Dogs, you was saving the world from Sable and Ginger. Sable was a good guy, Ginger was a bad guy. Sable was supposed to be the bad guy, and Ginger was supposed to be the good guy. It makes more sense, but Sable wouldn't work. The damn guy wouldn't work. He would not work. He was so lazy. And then he wouldn't take care of his kids. He was a terrible father. Talk about Sable memories. I would get one of his puppies, I'd grab one and I'd say, hey, Sable, look what I'm doing to your puppy, and I'm beating him up. He said, I don't give a damn what you do to those damn puppies. They aren't mine. Who else is she fucking? You trying to say that Ginger's fucking around on you? Come on, guy. God. Rest in peace, though. Rest in peace, Sable. But you were quite the character. But, yeah. SIDE. So, this is right before SIDE went on ECW. Vince McMahon was, coming out to the No Chance in Hell music. They wanted me to Vince McMahon trough. And, because at first there was, I think the commissioner was King Justin. It was you. They didn't like you there anymore. You wasn't McMahon enough, so they had to bring somebody that could Mr. McMahon trough. And I did that for about maybe 3 months. I was there for 3 months as the commissioner of SIDE. Gave it a little bit of awkward feeling. But, it was what it was. It's kind of like, when they switch over from Commissioner Jack Tunney and now it's Gorilla Monsoon, It's like, Jack Tunney's been the commissioner all this time. Now it's Gorilla, whatever. So that's kind of how that deal was. Made some matches here and there. I don't really think that I made a big difference. I don't think I stood out. I just took your place, really. Yeah, well, it's all right. I mean, I ain't feel salty about it. I mean, I was filling enough roles as it is, being two different announcers at the same time. But we won't go there. This is about Alec Trevelyan and Sally. So we moving forward. Before we do, though, ladies and gentlemen, I gotta take one last break. I ain't want to have to, But it's one last one before we wrap things up with Alec and Sally Tropher. Stay with me. Happy 4th of July, everybody, and I want to tell you that I'm right now drinking Ciroc Apple, made with vodka infused with apple and other natural flavors. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, only the best of the best naturally picked fruit flavors for this here Ciroc Premium Vodka that's been 5 times distilled from fine French grapes. It's a product of France. Ciroc Apple is a rich tasting spirit made with vodka distilled 5 times from the French grapes, finished in a tailor-made copper pot still in southern France. The vodka is masterly infused with a distinctive blend of apple and other natural flavors, resulting in a taste experience that is lusciously different and elegantly smooth. Go against the grain. Matter of fact, go to www.ciroc.com or call 1-800-392-8456 to find out more about Ciroc and their other products. They got all these different types of flavors. I was just suggested to buy this here Ciroc Apple, because we just not celebrated our birthday the other day, and I asked my friend Brian, what's a good drink, and he was like, oh, try the Ciroc Apple. That's what I always have. So, I figured it might have been a little bit too tangy for me, so I mixed it up with some Sprite. Ernest, you egg-sucking dog. You're nothing but an alcoholic, and you're probably just going to get drunk here and go home and beat your wife. Now, why would I do something like that, Daniel Dingo? I'm not nothing like you, okay? I'm not an abuser. You might not be an abuser because even if you did try to abuse your wife, she's not going to be able to feel it because you're hit with powder puffs. You egg-sucking dog. Dingo, my boy. Now, why are you sitting up there talking to Justin like that? Oh, you're so uncouth. Your Barnett be sounding kind of extra. Oh, yeah, but ladies and gentlemen, check out some Ciroc. We sitting here with Alec Tropher, ladies and gentlemen, and I was just sitting up here talking to him a little bit about the Reef and Liquor special. Alec, tell us, just what happened with you and Yaki, and just take it. Take it from the top. All right. Spontaneous AVW comes up with this idea that, progressively gets better. The order that you see the movie in, folks, that's the order that it actually played in. All right. So there I am. I start out, he pitches this idea, because we've been watching this movie, Coffee and Cigarettes. So he pitches this idea. He's like, listen, we're going to take these different characters. We're going to put them together in scenarios. We're going to have them talk to each other over a cup of liquor and a blunt or a joint. Fine. So, me and Yaki go in there. And right from Jump Street, I don't like the guy's aura at all. Don't like it at all. He's snobby. He thinks he's like, a big tough guy. He thinks he's all that. He thinks he's better than people. All right. I'm really not liking the vibe, but I'm keeping to myself. All right. Then he says something kind of slick, like, "Oh, I don't think you're a good actor," or something like that. "Your TV show sucks." Then he starts to stumbling over his words. It was right then and there. It was right then and there when I knew that kid right there was a fraud. And I started doing some research on this guy. And we talked about this, Ernie. So don't act like you don't know what I'm talking about. Back then, I tried to do a shoot. It's like 2012. Before these shoot interviews were even a big deal. And I did a shoot. They said, cut it. I said, no, don't you cut that thing, Ernie. And then they tried to cut us off. I said, keep every bit of it. This is your show. You know what I'm talking about? I know you talking about when we did that on the spot. People didn't want to receive it. They didn't want it. I was telling the truth. And it still continues. There's certain. My son, Nick Tropher, specializes in the XTV Illuminati. Have him on your show. Alright? Nightcrawler. So much dirt. But that's for another time. I know you like to keep your show fun and family friendly, but if you want to get some truth out, if you want to get some awareness out, alright? That's all you got to do. Tell the people about that type of stuff. Wake them up. And, you know, I understand that you don't really have a liking for, you know, some of the top stars in XTV, particularly Killer. But before you talk about Killer, you know, I want to talk about Bobby and Killer, you know what I'm saying? Because they both the head honchos, if you would, you know, the top dogs, the biggest names, you know, if you mention anybody. You say who on the top on the East Coast? Bobby. You say who on the top on the West Coast? Killer. So, what's your deal with Bobby? Bobby used to upset me a whole lot. But Bobby made me realize that he troughs his own kind of way. He troughs to the beat of his own drum. And it took me a long time to realize that he does have XTV's best interests. But don't you think for 1 minute that all that stuff that we were doing when nobody was watching back in 2003 and 2004, when I was telling them to go over there, when I was telling them to trough, when I was telling them to go over here, don't you think that I didn't have some type of an influence on the Bob Classic that you see today? And don't you think that if it wasn't for 1 second, me being a part of that boy's life, and James being a part of that boy's life, making him take bumps, making him go over here, making him go over there, making him sad trough, that he wouldn't be where he is today. And I'm very proud of him. I just hope he doesn't let it go to his head. And the Killer? The Killer. The Killer? Are you kidding me? Listen, folks. Listen close. The most overrated. That's right. Call a spade a spade. The most overrated XTV star to ever exist. Listen, all you gotta do you know who the most popular person in the world is, Ernie? Do you? It's Justin frickin' Bieber. Justin Bieber doesn't have how many Justin Bieber songs can you name? Well, I'm not a Justin Bieber fan, my daughter is. Listen, just because you overflood the people with a whole bunch of stuff, a whole bunch of content, just because you take notable, listen to this, notable people with some notoriety and some weight to their name, and you stand them around one person, does not make them a star. Completely overrated. And you talk about the XTV Illuminati. Listen, anybody, probably even DT, alright? Anybody but the Killer should be in that #1 spot. You're going to take something that's the most evil. You're going to take something that spit on your title, that pissed on your title. And this isn't to bring up the past woes and make a person feel like, you know, they don't belong. But the bottom line is that if it had been anybody else, if Bobby would have pissed on the title, do you think they would have the same leniency? If anybody else would have pissed on the title? You know, the type of thing that this guy does. The type of content. Have you looked on the channel TXG? Have you seen his stuff? Some of his stuff actually pretty funny. Listen, hey, you don't have to put this stuff over. That's not your job. I'm just saying I like some of the content. The Cosby Show is funny as hell. The part 2. Listen. Some things may be funny here and there. Just because you're able to I make people laugh. But am I the top guy? No, I'm not. Well, who's the top guy in your opinion on the West Side? They don't have a top guy. They don't have a top guy. Out of everybody on the West Coast, all right, who on the scale would be at the highest point. Well, who's their biggest talker? It's probably your buddy, Big Chunk Steve Matic. I would put him over the Killer. He's got way more accolades. I don't think so. And he's so ungrateful. Case in point, Clash of the Champions tries to come out there and blame me and get him. He almost ruined the whole damn spot. We bring the damn West Coast over to we bring the West Coast over into our house, and they try to make him seem like, oh, he's so innocent. They compare him to Bobby. I think he's behind that whole thing with the WWE saying, oh, Bobby came in and took all our championships. And even the Killer was such a good boy. Horse shit. No one believes that. I don't believe that for 1 second. All right? And then, it's so much I can bring up on this guy. He wrestles ODD. He clearly shows you he's still evil. He goes praying, calls himself Era, saying all these different chants. All right, completely squashes the old dirty dog, who's a damn legend. You gotta stop that shit, Ernie. He's a legend. Have him on your show. He loves you. He's a fan. Stop doing that, Ernie. He really does love you. And ODD's great. He was one of the greats before I came. All right? There was a few guys. You were one of them. You were a part of that pack. Take your name back. Take your spot back. Don't let scum like the Killer try to come out here and make it about what he wants it to be about. Every other movie you hear the Killer, the Killer, the Killer. Well, damn it. Aren't there any other guys on top on the West Coast? Over here, you got this guy doing this guy's doing that. Everybody's got a spot. Over there, the Killer, the Killer, the Killer, the Killer, the Killer. Overrated. Oversaturated.
That was good, honey.
It's the truth. I mean, and then you talk about the XTV main event, Pain versus the Killer. Now, come on now, wait a minute. You gotta admit, this is like old versus new. This is the cartoon era versus now. And we've had plenty of time, ample time, to see what both of these guys can do. Pain in his run as a boxer, people say, oh, just cause it was Trunks, that ain't no big deal. Pain ain't no big deal. He is a big deal. He's a boxer. He done defeated J.J. Strong. He done defeated a whole bunch of people in that boxing ring. That punch, man, those concussion-causing punches of the Pain, I think they're going to be a problem for the Killer. Well, of course they're going to be a problem for the Killer, but here's the thing. The Killer doesn't belong in that main event. But why are we having a West Side versus... Since when does XTV have West Side versus West Side? That's what I'm saying. He's taking somebody else's spot. These guys should be on an undercard. All right? I mean... The match with you and Neil have even more prestige than that. Think about it. Think about it. These guys out of nowhere, or not out of nowhere, but they're building this thing up. They're doing just like what Rock and Cena did. They're building this whole thing up for a whole, time period. Meanwhile, guys who are well-deserving, not saying that you want to be in the main event, but guys who are well-deserving to be in that main event spot, now they don't get it because... these guys are going to be in it, and that's not any disrespect to the Pain, but damn it, the Killer, what in the hell are you in the main event for? He's the top guys. You're going to get a lot of heat for this. I can already see this coming, but I'm scared for you. There's nothing to be afraid of. It's the truth. And then, I couldn't get a word in edgewise while I was sitting out there doing color commentary at the Clash, trying to explain, how I was trying to put him over in our one-on-one matchup. Go back and look at the match. I destroyed the kid. He was within inches of his life. He was being destroyed. But you know what I did? I old school Alec Tropher. And I go ahead and I put him over. I let him win the matchup. Oh, man. Alec Trevelyan, he's got the Alec Trevelyan workout program sitting up here with his wife, Sally. And, man, This is one of the more classic ones. Well, it's a pleasure, Ernie. I can come back here anytime and shoot the breeze with you. You know.
Me too, Ernie. I really enjoyed this.
I enjoyed y'all, man. Sorry for the long wait, y'all, but here it is. Alec and Sally Trevelyan. Thank y'all for coming again. And I'll see y'all down the road. And I'll see y'all down the road, folks, with another episode of A Good Time Podcast with me, Ernest, Justin Turkey Leg. Good night, everybody.